Alrighty, we're working on the Nova today. I've actually been working on it for a couple days now. Let me show you what I've been doing. Better yet, let me show you what we're gonna do. And we'll compare this side to what I did on the other side. So we've decided that we want to cut this off. We're gonna cut the slip off here, this one here, and this one here, as it goes all the way down under the car. So I've already actually done the other side, learned a lot from it, right? And we're gonna do this side, I'll set up the camera, we're gonna plasma cut it off, and then we're going to spot weld it and then try to run a bead over it and see if it turns out all right. I'm not trying to make it perfect, but I think on the grand scheme of things, once this firewall's cleaned up, I gotta patch some things, patch that. But doing this, I think will actually make it look a lot better. And so, let's get to it. So something I learned from doing the other side is to take my time when I'm cutting with the plasma cutter. The other side, I really just jumped into it, started cutting, and I'm like, I'll weld up whatever's left, whatever gaps I have, which I've done, but it was a pain. It took me hours upon hours, especially me not knowing really what I'm doing. It was brutal. And so I think if I take my time and cut this a little slower, be a little more methodical with what I'm doing, cut less and then grind what I need to, my gaps will be much smaller and I won't have to weld these big 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch gaps of this really flimsy sheet metal. And the wire I have on the welder really isn't great for this. It burns through it a lot. So we're gonna plasma cut this, try to be a little smarter about it, and then we'll see how it goes. You see here, I've left quite a bit of a gap, or not a gap, a lip still there. Versus last time, I honestly kind of cut it quite a bit of an angle, which left me a huge gap to weld in. I'm gonna try to cut it a little bit more, just so it's a little closer. I don't wanna grind that much of it away. But I certainly think this side's gonna go a lot more smoothly than the other side did. All right, as you can see, I did about 3 different swipes out of this time. Last time I did it all in one, so it was pretty rough. You can see where I got a little overzealous, right? My angle was messed up, so I went through it. Again, not the end of the world, that can be fixed. But if we look here, I'm gonna grind that a little smoother, and then we're gonna get the welding on it. Last time I cut the top one, both sides, and then try to tack it as I went, which this is only held in by these 3. So that wasn't very smart. So again, I'm gonna grind this down. I'm gonna get it welded most of the way, and then we'll start cutting some more. I think it's going a lot better than the last one for sure. Alrighty, got it ground down. It's about as far down as I want to do it. Gap isn't awful. I'm really trying to lower my expectations a little bit. At the other side, I wanted it to be just buttery, glassy, smooth. I wanted to look like one piece that didn't have any transition in it at all. And I've spent hours getting there. So this side, I'm gonna lower my expectations. I'm gonna try to get a bead across that, tack it mostly, then try to get a bead on top of it. And I think I'm just gonna be happy with it, just like that. So let's set the welder up and let's get to welding. Not the worst, not the best. I mean, if you watched that at all, you know there was quite a big gaps there. Just go down there. Kept blowing through. But you know what? I'll take it. You do this other side now. I'm gonna fill that in up there. I'm gonna grind it down just enough so it looks a little prettier. Knock off some of the high spots, and I'm gonna call it good, just like that. Alrighty, that is good as that one is gonna get. It is not perfect by no means, but you know what? I'm gonna slap some paint on it and call it good. And most importantly, it only took 15-20 minutes versus the other side took me a lot longer than that. We'll just leave it like that. So, got that one done. Need to work on these, but I think I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I've been out here for about 7 hours or so, and I got things I wanna do later this evening, so I'm gonna go home and get cleaned up. It's another day, we're back at it. Let's get to cutting the top one and the front one. Let's get the side wrapped up. Again, we're gonna do multiple small passes as to not dig too much into the metal and then cause myself to have to fill in these giant gaps. So. I know what you're thinking. You should cover your tire up. You're gonna ruin your tire by getting all those sparks on it. Tire, although it looks brand new, it does have some dry rotting on it already. The sidewalls look pretty bad in some places, so we're not gonna be using them, so I'm really not worried about it. Alrighty, from a cutting perspective, I'm gonna call it good. I'm gonna grind down my sharp edges and run a bead on it. Well, I don't think I can run a bead on that. I'm gonna spot weld it a whole bunch. fire in our hands. I think after I get this one done, grind this off a little bit, I might clear everything off here. I'm going to take the torch and I'm going to try to just burn some of the stuff off. I'll turn the big overhead fans on. I don't have it on right now. I'm going to try to burn all this rubber off because it is not good to breathe in. It's annoying to have fires coming from. Matter of fact, this needs to cool down before I can grind it, or my flat disc will probably just melt the glue holding it. Let's do that now. Let's burn this thing. Alrighty, we got a lot of it burnt off. Not all of it. It's not all of it was going to come off. I could have spent more time on it, but I think it got the job done. I got what I wanted done. I don't know if I warped the body panel and made that separate, or if it's just that rubber stuff, which might be seam seal. I'm not sure if it caused that, but it's still sturdy, so I'm not really worried about it. Overall, not bad. I think I might be able to take like a grinding disc now, a flap disc, and make it a little prettier. Ultimately, it's going to get paint on it, so it doesn't really matter that much. I just was tired of the big rubber globs everywhere. So let's go back over here, figure out where we ended up. Some of it got burnt off. Oh, some of it didn't, but we're good there. We're going to take the grinder, grind that a little smoother. Any place I might have missed, we'll tack it up again. But ultimately, I think that's good there. So then we just have to do this one. And down under here, we got to do this one. Right down under here. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that one off camera. You don't need to see the same thing over and over. So I'll come back with an update.
Day ended up getting cut a little short. Did not get to film the outro with all that cut and smoothed up. But rest assured it did get done, and it'll be in the next video. So please go ahead and like and subscribe so you can see it. In next video, we should have a roll cage update.